believe it or not, there have been some interesting developments here, and some of these developments have been identified by Fngr to lead some curious upside that has happened before. So what I'm trying to say is that the signals that I'm catching here today as we move in price action to this downside has led to a really curious recovery. And some of these recoveries, some of you may actually be a bit familiar with. These plays have happened here before with Arca bulls, and many a times, not many people identified them, but of course, we're here to kind of display those things to you now. So why don't we just go ahead and get this thing rolling here, because I am excited to show you these forward developments here. But before we get started, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, coming at you at 10:49 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, October 16th. Theta Thursday, Theta burn. All right, guys. So, yes, speaking on these developments, I am actually noticing signals that are not only coming in via Fngr, which honestly, this was something that I felt was in like kind of like a canary in a coal mine. It felt like it was leading the way of many things. Now, if I show you, this chart here and introduce to you a very obvious correlation here within this trend line, it'll show as though we are now falling beneath structure, right? So if for example, you draw this line straight across here, you can see that we're penetrating, we're currently penetrating that regression. It would be here, right? And we're below it. So which means that we would face a bit of an upside to validate that regression, that slanted line before we come back down, as traditional price would assume. This is exactly what happened. I gotta say, guys, this play has been mentioned so many times, and I can't believe that we're here again. And I am just ecstatic to see this happen. So let me introduce to you this trend line, right? This thing that I'm doing here, just before I also show you some other interesting things. So, for example, this is the volatility index. Risk on assets are typically inverse the index, right? So meaning that as this goes up, as volatility rises, we risk on assets inverse that, right? They go down. So hence the price of Fngr kind of capitulating, right? And the valuations here of the volatility index moving up. So why I'm showing you this is because there is a very curious resistance coming up right here, and we're incredibly close to it. To show you what the daily time frame moved, this was just this last traded session, right? You can see that this moved this much today, and now we're left with just this little peak here that historically has been used for a ridiculous amount of resistance. That is currently what I'm seeing here. Of course, you have 1, 2, and 3 outliers potentially, but those are outliers. We do not use the outlier here in statistics. And here is where things kind of change up that are very, very, very cool. Let's go back to XRP. Let's go back to Fngr and take a look at this. Okay, number one. Here is the you know what? I'm going to get myself out of the way so you guys can see this clearly. This is the trend that I'm seeing, right? So now a lot of people are going to think to themselves, you know what, Arca, dude, it's actually the trend line that you're thinking, right? It's not exactly what you're drawing here, right? So let's just go ahead and say that the parallel channel and the trend line that I thought it was is just a dream, right? So people can easily fight this against me and say that it's more like this, right? So this is the present trend that you're getting within these supports as we increase, right? It could even be observed like this because we have this one too. So if that's the case, that means that price action here on Fngr would naturally rise to just around your 150, like 159 or something, and then use the resistances or whatever here, maybe even at 163, use it as the potential for a resistance, and then we'll come back down and continue our merry way all the way to heck. Well, that is unfortunately not what I see, and I will show you why now. So let's go ahead and display that channel and take a look at this in a more broader term. Let's go ahead and extend our view and take a look at what has been happening throughout time from the beginning of, I believe, December of 2024. So we have these gigantic amounts, I mean, huge amounts of support and rejections right when you think that we're breaking structure. This thing comes back down and then bursts to the upside. Just when you think that you are killing structure here, this thing bounces from the bottom end and bursts to the upside, right? So this marks off a very interesting correlating support that has been used historically, and it has been used as an area to mark off what I determined several times in many videos when I used to cover FNGR a lot as a bear trap. As you reclaim structure, because you're breaking this, right? You're breaking this completely. You're reclaiming the structure to the downside, but you're not looking back here. And you're not looking at that coral. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? So there is a chance here that we can get some massive bounce to the upside, seeing that also we're catching that resistance on the VIX of volatility. And can I point out that also in volatility, we have a similar trend line, don't we? Look at that. So that's really curious to me too, that we bounced just like we did in the inverse. And this is bouncing the same way, but from the opposition. This is really, really crazy to me. Okay, so I am noticing here, guys, that we have a resistance somewhere around the 26.74, spot 83, potential 20, actually it would be right about here, 27.71 of your VIX. And man, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put this right about here. Your next trading day could be a valuation of 26.90. So 26.90. And that could be an area here that can absolutely rip. Liquidity could be found just above at 29.48. But honestly speaking, I'm not sure that it can get that high. It's really sensitive, guys. Your volatility index is very, very sensitive. So it feels like it moves very slow, but I'm telling you that it's sensitive because of these macro levels. Okay, so how far off can I take you though? Like how I can take you into different things as well, right? What I mean by this is that here's a correlating factor. You have things like Ethereum that are building incredibly bullish setups. Now, these setups don't, I mean, to a trader, to a traditional trader, this is your typical falling wedge, and your falling wedge absolutely marks off a potential top to the market. A potential reversal to the market, right? So if we can see it, something like this here, right? Even like this, you can absolutely see the workings of convergence. And now that we're within Ethereum, it looks like we're also building an inverse head and shoulders, which could be our exit strategy for the upside. So now even cryptocurrency is showing us through large caps, right? That this actually could be something happening here. A massive reversal could be in, and I think it might be as early as this coming session. So, look at what happened in the after hours today. Check out that bounce right here. Like, I can't believe that it actually did it, is what I'm talking about. Just like it's done historically. Right? So I'm very curious over the next day and the next few days, maybe week. There might actually be something here, okay, team? I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here with this just for now, and we're gonna continue speculating on this and keep track of it, right? I apologize I didn't put an update I apologize that I didn't put an update yesterday, but it was in light of really studying this, and I identified this, guys. And if you look back in my videos way back, you'll probably catch me talking about this regression whenever we get there. And oftentimes people were like, whoa, you know, we absolutely experienced like some critical bounces. Just to give you the idea of like something like this here, that was around 112 to roughly about 183, right? Some of these have been critical upsides, right? This is 136 all the way to around 180 as well. So, and I mean, not to mention that there is also the probability of this too, but are we going to get that? Here is what I think. Okay. Follow me here, okay? Because this is the most critical part. If you made it to this part of the video, I saved it for you. Okay? I saved it for you. So make sure to hit in the comments below, hit ATW if you are at this point and you are about to receive a pretty interesting thesis here, guys. This is really the one that I wanted to show you. And I save it here for a reason, okay? Don't ask me what it is, but it's there. Okay, I'm going to show you the beautiful thing of you know, fractal analysis. It really is something. Here we go. Take a look at this section here, right? Notice your troughs and notice the upside here. Notice your troughs and the upside here. See what I mean? We're looking at this. We're looking at these like 1, 2, 3 troughs here, right? We're looking at this 1, 2, 3 troughs. We got this massive upside, come back down into the areas that we're in right now before what? Could it be? Could it be that we've just identified what could be a massive runner for Fngr? I'm not going to tell you that it is or it isn't. What I am going to tell you is that this is a very curious fractal, and it may be and it may be ready for something like this. So let's let's just find out if that really is the case, guys, because timing wise, I know that you would start counting right about here, but I gotta say that there is also the chance to where this is a hidden iteration too. So if we start kind of counting our eggs here, we're looking at about 85 days, which could be just short of this here. So I would say this would be around 192 or 100 and something days. Actually, just right at the bottom before the explosion happened is about 117 days. So it's not too far off what's what kind of happened here. So I think it's well within a deviation, well within reason that it might actually be, correlating fractals here. So this makes me feel that the nervousness, the anxiety, and the mentions inside of media, Fngr has now started been, I don't know if you've noticed it, right? Like on X and on FinTwit, like on Wall Street Bets, it's Fngr. Everybody's kind of like talking about it again, and then people are like, "Oh, Arca's back, we're back." I don't mean that to happen, guys. Not from my part. I don't mean that to happen, and I am risk on with you, and I am red. So let's go ahead and find out what we have into the next days here. But I wanted to share with you a very interesting signal here that can lead not only this, but this is my canary to identify an overall upside. So including your small caps, including your cryptocurrency, including your traditional large caps and mega caps as well. So let's see what happens into the coming days, guys, and I'm excited to see what's up. So if any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Please remember, guys, that this right now, guys, we were supposed to finish the beginners today, right? But we have one more class coming in on Saturday. The beginners mentorship program is going to be over then. Please make sure to grab your seats before they're all gone, right? The description below has the links for you. $100 for a 9-week mentorship with me live. Come and get it. Whoever has it, you come and get it, right? And we'll be starting here in about 2 to 3 weeks, right? Just as soon as we finish a break, and we'll get this going. So make sure to visit those Links in the description below, guys. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will speak very, very, very scary Larry later. All right, guys. Adios and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.